What's up, guys? So I just did a video talking about how a lot of analysts and trainers and ex-fighters are giving Oleksandr Usyk his credit after defeating Tyson Fury a second time. In this video, I'm going to be talking about some jokers who aren't just trying to force this narrative, again, this ridiculous myth that Tyson Fury has a case for winning or that the fight was a draw, but they're really trying to take away from Oleksandr Usyk's greatness. And of course, yes, I put him in the thumbnail, Timothy Bradley deserves a mention because he says so many absurd things in this video, but it's not just him, it is this guy, Thomas Hauser, who is as old as the pyramids, and he is coming out with narratives that are almost as dumb. You've got Spencer Fearon here saying that Tyson Fury has a case for thinking that he won, and if he just upped it up a little bit, he would have won the fight. Okay, so I'll start off with Spencer here. He says that Fury did not win the fight, that Usyk did great, but then he switches it up early and says, well, you've got to give Tyson Fury a ton of credit. He did a lot of good things in there. And again, he says that basically Usyk won by coming on strong at the end of the rounds and that the rounds were very, very close. And basically, if Tyson Fury had just done a little bit more in some of these rounds, then he would have won. And judges, aka biased judges, which Spencer Fearon doesn't say, but that's what I'm inserting in there. Basically, biased judges who like to give certain fighters credit, aka the fighter they want to win credit for rounds that they didn't deserve to win, Fury could have won that fight. And again, I'm going to be doing a round-by-round breakdown where I don't show footage, obviously, because that video will get taken down in a heartbeat, but I show screenshots and give my analysis on how each round went, showing that Oleksandr Usyk clearly won this fight. And again, I've got more videos coming talking about some details that great trainers like Teddy Atlas and James Ali Bashir and also Duke McKenzie, who I mentioned in previous videos, are explaining on how Oleksandr Usyk clearly won this rematch, as he clearly won the first fight. But again, Spencer Fearon, he just cannot let go of the fact that Oleksandr Usyk clearly beat his boy, his homie, his hometown fighter, his home country fighter, whatever you want to say. He just cannot let go of this fact. He has to say, oh, but if Tyson Fury did this, and if my fighter did this, you know, Oleksandr Usyk, he won, but just give it a rest already. So that's Spencer Fearon. Then you've got Thomas Hauser. Now, I honestly thought that I would be laughing at Simon Jordan's ridiculous takes after this Usyk-Fury rematch, and I'm still going to, because I'm sure Simon Jordan has got a lot of dumb stuff to say, but Thomas Hauser has actually managed to shoehorn his way in as the first guy who gets to be laughed at, because Thomas Hauser says, I can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth because they're so shocking, that Usyk Fury 2 was a draw, and he had the first fight between Usyk and Fury a draw, that Tyson Fury won more rounds. It was 6-5 with one even, and Usyk got a 2-point round. Thomas Hauser, are you nuts? Are you nuts? Are you crazy? What have you been on, Thomas Hauser? Like, I don't want to disrespect my elders too much, but come on. What is this guy watching? Thomas Hauser seems to have this obsession with not giving fighters credit. First of all, he did it with Anthony Joshua, where he never gave him credit whatsoever for his victories over the years. He just heaped it all on Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. And now, because Tyson Fury is the guy who dethroned Deontay Wilder, and Oleksandr Usyk dethroned Anthony Joshua, the guy Thomas Hauser's never given credit to, he just can't seem to give Oleksandr Usyk any credit. Like, how did you give more rounds to Tyson Fury in the first fight? And again, saying that this fight should have been a draw. Again, I'll be breaking down in other videos why that's not the case, but I've done my part to get out as many videos as I can of well-respected trainers and ex-fighters and analysts saying Oleksandr Usyk clearly won. But this guy can't see it. Then finally for this video we've got Timothy Bradley, who does a 15-minute long video talking about how Oleksandr Usyk is a great fighter, but all-time status is not that great. He doesn't deserve to be ranked among the great heavyweights of the past. Now, that in itself is absurd, based on what Timothy Bradley has said in the past, but it's also the tone that he uses that is very smug and condescending and just incredibly patronizing to anybody who thinks this. And I'm going to show how this is ridiculous given what Timothy Bradley has said over the years, but these are his exact words 20 seconds into his video.
And, I finally sat down and watched it, but I'm going to give y'all the real right now. First of all, I'm going to start, and I'm not even going to talk about the fight right now, but all this all-time great shit that's going on, all-time great, are you kidding me? Man, look, recency bias, just because he beat the two best heavyweights of this era does not make him an all-time great. Usyk.
Okay, so according to Timothy Bradley, if you beat the two best fighters of this era in your division, you don't deserve to be ranked as an all-time great. And we're not even counting what Usyk did at cruiserweight, which I'm going to break down in plenty more videos, folks. But yeah, according to Bradley, that does make you an all-time great. Okay, well, Timothy Bradley said this about Terence Crawford back in 2019 when he was on ESPN and signed to Top Rank, when he hadn't beaten Errol Spence, he hadn't beaten Sean Porter. He was just beating on the Jose Benavides of the world, on the Jeff Horns, of the washed-up Cal Brooks and the Amir Khans. He hadn't beaten anybody that would suggest his resume deserved to be put in the same category as Floyd Mayweather, let alone beating him. And he said he would have picked Terence Crawford to beat Floyd Mayweather in his prime. Now, style-wise, okay, maybe you would have felt that way, but you guys can watch this video where he talks to Max Kellerman and tell me if Timothy Bradley is being consistent. Like, for him to say that Crawford, who by the way had cleaned out a very weak 140-pound division, and again, at that point, he hadn't done anything to prove that he was the best welterweight in the world. Not his fault, the top welterweights weren't fighting him, but nonetheless, Terence Crawford's resume was nowhere near the level of a Floyd Mayweather's. So to say that he would have beaten a prime Floyd, that is something that is pretty ludicrous to say at the time. Now, Oleksandr Usyk has beaten Anthony Joshua twice, Tyson Fury twice, back to back to back to back to back. He's also beaten Daniel Dubois, and that win has aged perfectly, beautifully, like Floyd Mayweather's victory over Canelo Alvarez. And he doesn't deserve to be called an all-time great. Like, make it make sense, folks. And I'll just play one more clip from it.
He's a legend in his own right. But all-time great, y'all tripping. And let's talk about the fight. Let's talk about the fight. Y'all want to know what happened? No, wait, hold on. I don't even care about, let me not even get in that. Let me just tell y'all that Usyk won the fight. All right? He won the fight. But the fight was close.
Okay, you guys can watch the rest of the video, and I just wanted to play that part just to emphasize the final point I wanted to make, which is Timothy Bradley's tone and the passion of which he's speaking. It really makes me think he is trying to sound controversial. He's trying to be a contrarian, because he goes into, again, you guys can listen to the video in full, detail about how Usyk did a great job shutting down Tyson Fury, who is so much bigger than him, stronger than him, and is also younger. So he says that Usyk has elite skills, all-time great skills, but he doesn't say he deserves to be an all-time great, despite the fact of what he's done. And again, I'm going to do videos comparing the resumes of Usyk and Crawford and Canelo, but I'll just say it right now. There is no comparison whatsoever to the cruiserweight division that Usyk cleared out and the 140-pound division that Crawford ran through and the 168-pound division that Canelo became undisputed in. Usyk became undisputed champion in a far deeper division, and again, that is all before he moved up fighting guys who are 30 pounds at the bare minimum bigger than him, younger than him, stronger than him, all of this. And Timothy Bradley is just really trying to push home this narrative that he's not an all-time great. The last thing I'll say is maybe Bradley is trying to push back at people who are saying that Usyk is the greatest fighter of all time, because let's be real, there are a lot of people who do say that. After a fighter has an all-time great, historically elite win, they then say, oh, this makes them the greatest fighter of all time. That does happen a lot these days and has been going on for years. So maybe Bradley is pushing back against those people. But to say Usyk doesn't deserve to be an all-time great, again, I've got plenty of videos breaking down how great Usyk is. Those are my thoughts right now. Let me know your thoughts down below about these three jokers refusing to give Oleksandr Usyk the credit he deserves. And there's more, but all in good time. Those videos will come out soon. Drop your thoughts down below and like and subscribe as always.